Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Adam Deal. I'm in for Scott Galletti. We got a great show today. A Lobo great and even another Lobo great that transferred to Maryland. Let's talk to him right now. Yep. Ce De Baca. Hey, I'm glad you could join. Finally, we get a little soccer love in here. Steve Davis moves aside, and we can appreciate a real good sport now. You are a national champion, my friend. You played at Maryland. What's odd about this is you beat the New Mexico Lobos in 2005 in the national championship game. So that's where I want to start things off. What is that like?
Oh, thanks for having me. That was a long time ago, but it was a great experience. Something that I will be able to cherish and forever as far as a soccer player in my career. And, it's something that I was very fortunate to be a part of. Unfortunately, as a Lobo fan and playing at UNM, it was a bit bittersweet playing against the team I love. A lot of the good friends of mine were on that team, so it was a bit bittersweet, but it was something that it's competition, and so it was fantastic to be a part of, and I'll never forget it.
Well, it's good to have you on, and listen, we were talking off air and stuff, and I knew of you and who you were. I never really had met you because I played soccer as well, obviously, and you were older than me, and I mean, you've won so much. Going back to St. Pius, we were talking about you had 3 state championships, starting with your freshman, sophomore, and junior year, right. Which is odd because 2 of those you actually shared with the academy, which is really odd. But talk about your high school days, and that's where you started to really build a name for yourself.
Yeah, I think I was, St. Pius back then, and they're doing well now. They had a great program under Jorge Tristani, and he really brought the best out of us. We had a pretty long-standing tradition, and I got there freshman year and was fortunate to win a state championship and got to, see for it myself right away. Unfortunately, sophomore and junior year, back then they had co-championships, and it was like kissing your sister. I
don't understand. How would they have that?
Exactly. So, they didn't go into shootout, and after overtime they called it quits. So it was tough to swallow, but it was still, great to be a part of a winning tradition at that point.
Obviously, that has changed now, and the rules are a little bit different. But not only were you successful in state championships at St. Pius High School here locally, but also state championships in club, in which you would go to regionals. And if people don't know, state championships or state champions in each state go to regionals. There's 4 different regions across the state. In fact, right now, regionals is going on where a bunch of New Mexico State champions, boys and girls from U12 all the way up to U19 are participating in Boise. You won 3 of those, though. And I think there's only been 5 New Mexico teams in all ever to win regionals, which is very tough to do.
Right.
Talk about that.
Oh, man. So, I was fortunate again to start off at a young age playing for Ricardo Beraun, who, he brought the best out of us. He developed a technical skill level at a very young age, and so that's what we were fortunate enough to really have that teaching and coaching from him, bringing it from a Peruvian background. And from, I think it was U10 on to U19, we won all state championships, and we only lost 2 games throughout that whole time to a team our age and a team younger over a 10-year period. So on a state level, we were very recognized, as well as, we were fortunately to win 3 regional championships, and like you said, only 5 teams, or we only have 5 of those, and 3 of us being those, and the other one was also another Ricardo Beraun coach team as well. So, that was something great to be able to represent New Mexico on a national championship size event.
Well, you and your dad, and the reason why we have you on right now, and it's due time to finally get you a little pub here in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
the reason why we have you on is you and your dad stepped into our office. You guys were talking about something you're doing, and we think it's great. It's something great for the community and, of course, soccer. It's called Soar No More Summer Classico. The Albuquerque Soul here locally, who are doing great broadcasts that we do on ProView and U Sports Network, they're going to take on a team from Mexico. Talk about this.
Yeah, so June 27th, come out, UNM Soccer Stadium. It's going to be starting at 7. What we're doing is fortunately, we've had the resources to, work with Mexican professional teams, one being Lobos Buap. Pinvac and Associates, that's the name of our LLC that we have started, and it's a sports marketing-based company. So the idea originally came of wanting to bring international soccer to Albuquerque. It's done pretty well in the past, and we wanted to work on that. So we started off wanting to bring 2 Mexican teams to come here, be a good local game for Albuquerque, as we have a pretty good market for soccer. So we wanted to bring 2 Mexican soccer teams, and that was the idea. we then got inspired by Ron Patel and the Soul on what they're doing. He spoke at a Hispano Chamber of Commerce event, and we kind of listened to the goals that he wanted as far as, being a USL Pro team in a few years, and then maybe at some point in the next 8 to 10 years being putting an MLS bid in there. They did a study on Albuquerque being a market for MLS, and they showed that we have the potential to do that. There's a lot of stepping stones that need to take place, and the idea of that, bringing 2 Mexican teams then fell into why not help Albuquerque? Why not help the local team here accomplish those goals? We're not saying that this is going to be the deciding factor on helping them reach that, but it's just a stepping point to create the buzz for the Albuquerque Soul, create that bigger fan base. They're on the radar right now for USL Pro team. So being at number 1 nationally right now, that's not a bad thing right now.
They're playing really good right now.
They're playing really well.
7-1-1, and I believe there's somewhere upward of 64 teams in all in PDL. Yeah. 7-1-1, and then, like you said, they're on top of it all. Not just their Mountain Division, probably going to be in the playoffs. Just the second year in, and Ron Patel's done a good job building the base of this. That being said, do you think that Albuquerque can eventually support an actual MLS team?
I think we have the potential, and it's up to us. It's really up to the city and the community here. We crave professional sports here. We have the Isotopes, and we have a great UNM athletic program, but we still want more sports teams. And that's, at the end of the day, it's up to us. Leagues look at the support, the market here, and games like this, when we're bringing international games to play against our local team, we have to show our support for the team, the local team here, and for events like this to get recognition, to show that we can put on events like this, and we can have that fan base to provide for that.
Talk about this game again. Again, it's on Saturday at 7 o'clock. It'll be at UNM. Playing the Lobos, which is a second-tier division team in Mexico Pro. Actually have a real good fan base out there. Yeah. Talk about them.
Yeah, so ironically enough, they're the Lobos from Puebla. They play in the Liga de Ascenso, which is the second division. How it works in the soccer pyramid, as you know, is that typically your second division teams are applying to get into the Liga, the first division. So they were in the top 3 spots for the whole season and just missed out in the playoff system. So they were just a little bit short. They have just signed 7 new players, all veterans, all experienced players, and they wanted to sign those players to help them get to the next step, to the first division. And it's great because those 7 players, their first game will be against the Albuquerque Soul. And so we'll be the first people that get to watch those new signings.
The Albuquerque Soul this last weekend on Saturday just beat the Colorado Rapid developmental team 2-0. Obviously, they've been playing really well. Do you think there's any potential that the Soul could win a game like this against a professional team, or is it going to be an outmatch, outclass type thing?
You know what? It's soccer. Anything can happen in soccer.
That's very true.
Especially the way that they're playing, going on their momentum. They got a good bunch of guys out there playing. A lot of talent, some of them local and some that are brought in. That they're all trying to be pro soccer players. They all have those dreams and expectations. So a game like this, they're going to really go out there and compete. It's not just a friendly. It's something where they're hoping to get seen even. I actually got seen playing college from a Mexican team and got sent down to play in Mexico. So I was fortunate to play there for a year. And it was all because I played in a game and there was a Mexican scout down there.
And this is a real big opportunity, obviously, for all these guys to show, hey, look, we can play at this level. No doubt about it, we can play at this level. Okay, so this event, how did this come into frame? I mean, you talked about wanting to do this and build soccer here, but I know it was kind of a quick thing put together. Yeah. In the last month, I mean, it finally all just fell into place. Yeah,
my pops and I, we've talked about wanting to do this for a while. I've been living in Seattle for the last 5 years and just moved back. And seeing the Sounders play out there and the Timbers and how well they're doing, and just something that we want in Albuquerque. And so we've talked about in the past how cool it would be. And then one of our partners with Ce De Baca, he's very good friends with the president of the professional team, Los Lobos. And, we got with him and he's like, yeah, they'd love to come out and play. So it kind of happened a lot quicker than we had expected, and for that we've been working and grinding away. But it's something that we think it's going to be a great turnout. Even though it's a short time and short notice for the support, but we're hoping it's a great turnout.
And talk about just the event in itself. I mean, it'll be on the 27th again, 7 o'clock. How early can people get there? Is there
Yeah.
going to be tailgate parties, stuff like that?
Thank you. Yeah. So the game starts at 7. Tailgating for the tailgating fans, there will be a tailgate that opens at 3 p.m. and then the gates open at 5. So you can buy tickets at the gate. You can buy tickets at UNM Bookstore, the Pit. Those would what I would recommend. You can also find them at Albertsons and UNMTickets.com for additional fees. So 7 o'clock is kickoff. At halftime, there's going to be a pretty cool event, bubble soccer, if you've heard of it. Should be a lot of fun for the kids and family.
It's catching on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's catching on. It's a lot of pretty funny to watch. So that's going to be huge. But that's not just it, man. We're trying to make this a big event and do it every year. So we're trying to make it a special for the teams coming in. We have them training at St. Pius on Friday at 9 a.m. And that's going to be open to the public. It's going to be open to the media. And I encourage people to come train. As a soccer player growing up, I thought watching the guys train was, one of the coolest things, and even sometimes cooler than games. And so we want to get that buzz there and encourage people to come to that as well.
Agree. Hey, we appreciate it. That's
Yeah.
Robbie Ce De Baca. Don't forget,
Yeah.
the 27th. Come on out, 7 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Soul going to take on Lobos from Division II Mexico.